Hello, everyone. My name is Don, the movie reviewer, and today we're going to be talking about one of my most anticipated movies of this year, Wakefield, starring Bryan Cranston. I really don't know why I was looking forward to this movie, but I remember just stumbling upon it on IMDb, seeing the poster. Then I watched the trailer and I said to myself, that looks pretty interesting. So I really wanted to check it out. And, you know, that's pretty much it. Like there wasn't really anything else to it except me hearing about it, looking it up, seeing the trailer, being interested, and then just saying, "Hey, I want to see this. I'm looking forward to it." First time I tried to watch it, I couldn't really get around to it when it was in the theater, making having its initial run because I was very busy. But I finally got around to watching it recently, and I really don't like it. I don't. I really don't know why I was looking so forward to this, but I was really intrigued. And after just just watching it, I'm glad I didn't see it the first time I wanted to. This movie really disappointed me. It really disappointed me. But here's my review. Fuck, you touched the screen.
Suburban life. So much is the same. Week after week. Who hasn't had the impulse to put their life on hold for a moment? Just vanish completely. How far am I willing to let this go? I never left my family. I left myself. Unshackled, I'll become the Howard Wakefield I was meant to be.
Howard Wakefield, played by Walter White, is a man who abandons his life by sleeping in his attic to watch his wife and kids from a distance. This story is about a man. This man is a selfish piece of shit who manipulates his wife into dating him, sleeps with his best friend's girlfriend, lies to his best friend, ignores his children, and laughs at their pain and misery while causing them to wonder what actually happened to him. On his way home, Howard Wakefield just decides to abandon his life and his family while watching them from a distance. His decision to disappear for a few months causes him to evaluate his life and his relationship with his family. Nobody knows where Howard Wakefield is or what happened to him. Throughout the entire movie, he's just laughing it up while bringing misery and pain to his family. Wakefield goes through a journey of self-discovery here, and during this particular time, he realizes that what he has always wanted to be has been there right in front of him all along. He's just never opened his mind up to the possibility until now. At first, I thought this movie was interesting, but by the end, I absolutely hated this movie. There's no point to anything that goes on here. All we're doing is watching a man being selfish, doing selfish things, and continuing to be selfish, even though the movie is trying to tell me he's currently feeling empathy. What the hell is he doing the whole time? I understand why some people just want to get away from their lives for a little while, but doing it for months on end while he's knowing exactly what he's doing to his family, I don't understand that. Yeah, I guess he feels like he's finally living his life, and from a distance, he's analyzing the predicament that he's been trying to figure out for a long time. Is his character supposed to be learning a lesson? By the end of it all, I don't think any of the shit that he was doing actually mattered. His journey towards self-discovery or having empathy for his family really wasn't the reason for him doing the shit that he was doing. He was just a selfish piece of shit who wanted to do his own thing, but lacked the balls to confront his family and straight up tell them, hey, things need to change around here. I don't like the way you treat me. I want more respect. I want love. But here's the thing. I've been lying to you about certain things that I'm not proud of. I don't know. Maybe I just never cared until now. I'm not saying that people are perfect and we always confront our fears and face them head on. Sometimes we are cowards who never want to confront the things that we fear the most. But if the character in your movie goes through a set of circumstances that we, the audience, are supposed to care about, and then by the end of it all, you just say screw it and don't show me any sort of progression that the character has made, then screw you and your fucking movie. Bryan Cranston plays Howard Wakefield, and his character is a piece of shit. Bryan Cranston is a good actor, and I liked his performance in this movie, but his character is so pointless that overall, all the shit that happens here is pointless. All of the things during the beginning made sense, and I understood why he did it because, hell, I like to take mini vacations just so that I can get away from life for a while. But none of the things he did by the end of the movie made any sense because there wasn't a real conclusion with his character by the end of the movie. Everything that we know about Garner's character is told from Wakefield's perspective. There's no scene in here where we learn about her from her own perspective. And I had a problem with that because how do we know who she really is as a person? It's like a friend of yours who describes a person to you, and once you meet the actual person, you feel like your friend was way off base. Fuck this goddamn movie. I understood what it was going for, but the way it ends, it's like a big fuck you to the crowd. Wakefield went on an interesting journey that was about self-discovery, empathy, and knowing what it really meant to be present and alive. But the ending makes absolutely no fucking sense, and it ruined what the hell this movie was trying to establish in the first place. I give this bullshit Wakefield movie a fucking F. Fuck this goddamn movie, piece of shit. You pissed me off. I'm not happy. Yes, this movie makes sense. You think the character is going on an interesting journey, but by the end, it just shits all over everything of what you thought this was going to be, and I thought it was going to be a profound experience. Okay, so here's my thing. Let's get to, just to spoil this right now. The ending of this movie, it's one of those ambiguous endings to where, before the ending, you have Wakefield and he's walking home and he sees a raccoon and he tries to like get rid of it, but then it lures him to the attic. He goes into the attic and he's like, oh, the attic. And then he looks through the window and he sees his wife and his kids, and then he just makes the conscious decision to say, fuck my family, I'm going to sleep in this attic, and that's where I'm going to stay, and I'm going to watch them. So then he does this, and then he stays in there, and he becomes homeless, he grows a beard, and, he's supposed to learn all this stuff about his wife and his kids, and what he's missing out on, and he's supposed to feel all this emotion and all this stuff. And you think the movie can only go three ways. One, he kills himself, which he's probably not going to do. Two, he just comes back to his family, which is what we'll get to because that's what he does. And then three, he just disappears, which you think is what he's going to do. So really, he can only go one of two ways. You don't think he's going to kill himself. So then by the end of the movie, he's like, all right, I'm going to come back to my family. And it ends on an ambiguous note where it's like, yeah, he cleans himself up. He walks in the house after months of being gone, and they think who knows what happened to him. His wife moves on, his kids forget about him, and all of a sudden he just shows up again. His wife's already dating somebody else, but he shows up again all of a sudden in the living room during Christmas, and he says, I'm home. And then it ends. And before that, it was interesting because then they in the movie shows him thinking about the two possible outcomes that could happen, to where it's like, okay, one outcome could be, oh, they're happy to see me. Outcome number two could be, oh, they're shocked. So you don't know what's going to happen. So it's that ambiguous ending to where it leaves it up to the audience to make the decision. And I can respect movies that do that. Like, there are movies out there that have that ambiguous ending that say, yeah, we're not going to give you a real definitive ending. We're going to make you, the audience, decide how this is going to end. Because in the movie, you are in Jennifer Gardner's shoes, to where it's like, okay, even though we don't know what she sees is happening to him, we, the audience, see what he's doing. So we have a character judgment about him. And the reason why I didn't like his character in this movie, and I thought he was a selfish piece of shit, is because there's nothing to like about this guy. Like, he constantly, like I said in my review, he does all these things, and all these things that he does mean nothing to me. It just makes me hate the guy. He's a selfish piece of shit. He's doing this. He's laughing, and then he meets these kids in the movie, and he I think he learns, he goes through a progression, like he learns some things and he changes by the end of the movie. But then in the middle of the movie, you see that how he got Jennifer Gardner to be his girlfriend and his wife is that he manipulated her into dating him, and he lied to his best friend to get him out of the picture. He liked that competition. So that's how he got her. So then by the end of the movie, he's constantly analyzing and thinking, oh, yeah, this is our relationship. This is what we're going through. This is my relationship with my kids, my relationship with my friend. And this is how all of this started. And this is where we are now. And here's what's going on. And so, he has all this stuff that he's thinking about. And he's constantly thinking about, oh, yeah, what if I just showed up all of a sudden? What would happen? How would she take it? Would this happen? Would that happen? Different scenarios that play off in his mind. So during that particular time where all this stuff is happening to him, he's going through the seasons, he's thinking about all these things, he meets these people, he's having this profound experience, he's learning, he's adapting. He still doesn't confront his family. He's just like, whatever, I'm doing my thing, living my life. I'm still watching you guys, so I haven't really left you, but screw you guys, screw all that. And it's not until the guy that he stole her from shows up again, to where now he's interested in her. He was thinking about coming back, but he never did. Until, the guy that she dated before, while she was dating me, shows up, and now he has that jealousy factor again. When in the movie he explains that, oh, yeah, the only reason that we constantly have sex all the time is that, she's talking to some dude, I get jealous, and I am like, oh, yeah, the fire burns inside me, and we have sex, and it's great, but she's getting frustrated with that. And so the guy shows up again, and then that's what makes him have a reaction to be like, you know what? I'm going to come back into my life. Now, at that point, when he sees the dude, it kind of seems like, oh, okay, he's just going to disappear. He's going to be like, all right, I want you to be happy, and I'm going to disappear, and that's it. But no, what he does is he decides to come back after all this time, which to me is like, okay, his character didn't learn anything at all. He's still being a selfish piece of shit, because during the process of him, before the guy showed up, during the process of him just watching his family, thinking about, should I come back, should I not come back, he doesn't do it. So he just watches them, and he's just like, oh, screw it, I don't know what to do, but I'm just still gonna sit here. Then once the guy shows up into the picture again, that's what makes him have the reaction. So maybe you could say that, oh yeah, that's important because it gives him the fire and desire to come back to his family. But then that's the only reason why he had sex with her. So it's like nothing really changed with him. There was no real character progression. Even though he did all of these things that changed the course of his life, by the end of it all, it didn't really mean anything, because it's just like, all right, he does this, things happen, he makes the decision because the guy comes back and he decides to go back to his family. He has like, oh, it could go either way. And he shows up again and says, I'm home, and then it just ends right there on an ambiguous note. And it's just like, fuck that, man. This movie, you did not earn that ambiguous ending. Because it's like, there's no real character progression with Bryan Cranston's character. It's just like, he's selfish throughout the whole thing. Even by the end of it, when you think, oh yeah, did he learn anything? No, he just fucking took a break from his family for a while and said fuck them. And then by the end of it, he's just like, oh, I don't want this dude to have my wife, so fuck him, I want her back now. And that's it. And that's how it ends. And it's just like, I would have appreciated the movie. Like, I like most ambiguous endings. Like there are some movies out there that have earned the ambiguous ending to where the audience has to decide what the actual ending is. We make the decision. And I like most movies like that. But with this, it doesn't earn it because it's like, all right, we don't really know what his character is feeling emotionally, like why he's back. Like to me, he's just back for selfish reasons. He hasn't learned anything. He just said, I'm taking a break from you guys for a while. Fuck you. I laugh at your misery and pain. And that's it. Now I'm back because this dude wants you and he can't have you. I want you. And then so it's like he learns nothing, and all the shit we saw him go through is pointless. So it's like he shows up, and I would have appreciated the movie if it was like, okay, he shows up, and you add at least 5 minutes of a monologue. Add 5 minutes of a monologue to where he says, "I'm home." His family's shocked. He sits on the sofa. They're like in shock, like, "Oh my god!" They don't say anything. They just look at him. He sits down on the sofa and he says, "Oh man, here's what happened. I was in the attic for this whole time." And just have him pour out his heart. Whether it be positive or negative, I don't care. Whether it be him admitting to the fact that, yeah, I lied to you, and the guy that you were seeing, I manipulated him and you to be with you, and all this is a ruse, and me sleeping in the attic, that's what happened, and I never really cared about you, and all this. It could be a completely negative experience, and he could be a piece of shit, and the movie can end there, and I'm fine with that. Just let me know exactly what he's doing. And this movie doesn't let you know what he's doing at all. It's just like, who does the shit, and it ends, and it's just like, what was the point of that? There's no point to that whatsoever. Like, I don't need to have the movie tell me if Jennifer Garner is going to take him back or not. I don't care about that. I can make the decision for myself just by viewing Bryan Cranston's character in the movie. I don't care about that. I'll make that decision. So you can leave that completely ambiguous as to whether she takes him back or not. But at least give me some sort of conclusion to what he's thinking, to how he feels, like how this whole experience changed his life. And the movie didn't do that. Like, I would have appreciated at least a 5-minute monologue scene, him sitting on the sofa, his wife staring at him, and them not saying anything, and him just pouring out his heart, whether it be positive or negative, whether it be him apologizing for the things that he's done and confessing, or whether it be him just saying, you know what, I'm a piece of shit, I'm glad I'm a piece of shit, and I don't care, but I want you back because this dude's not going to have you. Either way it goes, just have me understand what the hell he was doing this whole time, because with that, the way the movie ends, it's just like, I feel there's no point to any of this shit that happened. It means nothing. It makes no sense. I don't want to see this movie again because it didn't go anywhere, and it's just like he ends up being the same person from the beginning to the end, and you didn't earn the ambiguous ending. That's how I feel. That's why this movie's a fucking F, and that's why I hate Wakefield. Fuck this movie. That's it. So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I never left my family. I left myself. Unshackled.